That is some major spoilers in this video. Batman vs. Superman was pretty great. I love Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. He did a fantastic job. I love his progression. It seemed very, very natural. And when you see him actually, like, more or less committing a crime, when he bombs the Capitol, amazing. About every scene with Lex Luthor was great. I really liked when he's talking to the guy, I can't remember what his name is, and he's like, hey, come into my office. And there's like a little stand with a freaking umbrella and stuff like that. He's got like a bowl of Jolly Ranchers. It was just kind of like, just like laughable. I love seeing the senator when she's on, I guess, as judge or whatever, putting Superman on trial. She's sitting there in her seat, and she's got a cup of tea that says Granny's Peach Tea. It was fantastic because the scene beforehand, she's like, where she's meeting with Lex Luthor, she's like,
you can pee in a cup and call it Granny's Peach Tea, and nothing you do will ever make me drink it.
Or whatever, something like that, something along those lines. Beautiful, just to see her face when she sees the cup of pee there. I love the whole scene with the Capitol. It's fantastic. The philosophy throughout the movie of God and everything was pretty great. I enjoyed hearing Lex Luthor say,
if God is all powerful, he cannot be all good. And if he is all good, he cannot be all powerful.
I enjoyed that scene very, very much. I liked a lot of the reflections of Superman, you know, like, I guess being compared to God. And then, like, when Superman dies at the end, you know, there's like, I saw in the background, there's like 3 crosses, which was pretty amazing. When you see Lois Lane go to, she's like over Superman and crying and stuff like that, and Batman and Wonder Woman is there. You see there's 3 crosses to the left of this, to the left of the screen. And so it's pretty neat to see. And then when he gets buried, like, amazing, because I thought, I was like, nah, he's obviously gonna come out of the casket. There's got to be at least some way he does that. No, he didn't. He just he's dead. So I thought that was pretty amazing, and I'm very interested to see what they're gonna do in the next couple of movies to get Superman to come back to life again. I enjoyed, there was a scene where Lois Lane is crying and she's in Superman's room, and then you have Martha come in and she's like, hey, Superman, or, you know, Clark Kent was going to surprise you, and it's a ring and stuff like that. And I thought that was beautiful, just beautiful. The horrible things that I didn't like are actually a lot. However, it doesn't really hurt the movie. The Bruce Wayne, it's one of the first scenes when he's burying his parents. Bruce Wayne falls into a cave or whatever, and there's a lot of bats, and the bats start circling him and lifting him up out of the cave. And then you hear Bruce Wayne in his adult voice talk about how it was a dream. He's like,
in the dream, they took me to the light.
I did not like that scene whatsoever. I was very relieved when I heard that it was a dream, but I did not like the scene. There was not a point to it, like, whatsoever. Like, you could say that the bats, like, gave him comfort, but that's not even, like, what I felt throughout the movie, because it was only there in that one scene. It's just, it's a cool scene with no substance whatsoever. The world engine did not explode in Man of Steel. If you notice, in Man of Steel, one of the guys says a good death is its own reward when he's in the ship, and he crashes it into the world engine. And the world engine just implodes and does not, like, there's no explosion at all. It just kind of, like, disappears, and that's it. But in Man of Steel, in Batman vs. Superman, it does explode. I believe. I'm not 100% sure about this. I tried to get a clip and show it to you guys. I could not find one, but I believe it explodes. And that, just an error, but whatever, This is one thing that bugs me about the whole movie. When I see the dream of Batman and you see that Omega symbol for Darkseid, I don't need to see that. The first time I watched the movie, I thought, man, they're trying way too hard, and they shouldn't. They should not be competing with Marvel at the rate that they're going right now. The studio is moving too fast, and that's not okay. Batman using a gun. In the dream, he uses a gun. And actually, he also uses the gun one time in the movie when he's saving Martha. And that's not okay either. I feel like that's not what Batman would do. He'll beat him to a pulp, and that's okay. But he will not use a gun. And so that's not his character. I didn't like the way the fight was set up. When Lex Luthor kidnaps Martha and says to Superman,
"Go over to Gotham. I need you to fight Batman. Bring me Batman's head. Martha will be waiting for you. If you don't, she'll die. If you kill me, she'll die. And if you leave, she will die."
And I didn't like the way that he set it up. I'm not sure why I didn't like it, even though the trailers basically said that would happen. Not said that would happen. They implied that Lex Luthor was going to set up the fight. I didn't like that. Wonder Woman was useless. Didn't play a great role at all. The only time, it feels like the only reason she's in there is for some eye candy for the audience. And yet they sit there and try to sexualize Lois Lane. It was pretty stupid. But anyway, so she's like eye candy for the audience. And then at the end, she gets in her Wonder Woman outfit and then fights with Doomsday. She's useless. She didn't play a big role. And even fighting Doomsday, she didn't really play a big role. You could basically take her out of the equation. You'd still get the same plot. So it's whatever. Batman hearing Martha's name. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. Whenever Batman and Superman are fighting, they're at the end, and basically Batman wins. And Superman says to Batman,
"Hey, you're letting Martha die. You are letting Martha die."
And he looks at Superman and is like,
"Why didn't you say that name? Why didn't you say that name?"
What? And then Lois Lane steps in and is like,
"No, don't kill him."
And he's still yelling, "Why didn't you say that name? Why didn't you say that name?" Lois Lane looks at Batman and is like,
"It's his mom's name."
The way it was just done, I felt was kind of poor. It could have been a little bit better. And Batman saving Martha. Okay, so Batman actually goes and saves Martha for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why. I can't remember, actually, at this moment. When he saves Martha, Batman says to Martha, "I'm a friend of your son's," okay? That's not okay either. It's not okay. Okay? Batman, in scenes before, was actually about to kill Superman, and then it was like, "Oh, I'm a friend of your son's." No, you're not. No, you're not. The other thing I forgot to mention is when they fight, okay, it's extremely weird. I really, really hated this. Okay, so when the fight got set up, you have Lex Luthor, and he pushes Lois Lane off a building to get Superman to come, because Superman's been gone for a bit now, and so he shows up, saves Lois Lane, and goes to Lex, okay? At the same time this is happening, Batman doesn't know anything about this, and Batman suits up and puts his light on. And the reason he does this is because when Superman first encountered Batman was trying to get the Kryptonite, and Superman standing there interrupted Batman and tore off his I guess shielding from the Batmobile, exposed Batman, looked at Batman and said,
Hey, don't ever shine your light here again. The Bat is dead. Consider this a warning.
which actually was very poorly done by Superman. It wasn't acted, I guess, very well. It just felt like he was just saying some lines. Anyway, so because Superman had said that, Batman, suits up, puts his light in the sky, and hopes that just Superman just goes over there and fights him. I felt that everything was done in like way too much of a timely manner, just like it was way too coincidental. Because Batman doesn't know anything that's going on. Somehow Lex, I guess, knows this and just happens to be there at the right time. So, because there was no way that Lex could have known that Superman or that Batman was going to suit up. But it's like he prepared everything. I don't know. You could say that that just shows how smart Lex is, but in this case, I feel like it doesn't. Everything was way too coincidental, and so that's one of the reasons I didn't like the way the fight was set up. Other than that, that's it for my list. I'm going to put all the lists in the description. Or I'll put my list in the description below, so you can just look at it. It was a great movie. I did like the movie. I can look past all those other things. I'm not really sure why it got a 33% on Rotten Tomatoes, but it was fun.